Good morning. Happy Wednesday. How are you today? It is Jack from Jack Gately Real Estate and the Online Real Estate Academy with news for real estate agents. It is a beautiful, sunny October day here in beautiful Plymouth, looking out on Town Square here. Hope that you had a beautiful Tuesday. After I did the show yesterday, eventually got out on the boat. I do not have a big boat. This is not a boat bragging story. I just putted around the harbor for an hour. It was great to be outside in the sun. Felt a little bit like summer for a couple of hours at least. So it was great. It was a good day. It was a good day yesterday. Although I did have a no-show at my 5 o'clock showing. I know it even happens to me. And yeah, so that stunk. So the guy called. I got there, and I just had this sinking feeling that this was not going to work out. And I got there, and it's 5 o'clock sharp, and I'm like, he's not here. And I'm like, this is not. He's going to no show. And so 5:05, he calls. Oh, I didn't realize it was that part of town. So yeah. He didn't. He was like, "Oh, that's too far away from my kids. They have to switch schools." Blah, 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 blah. So that was the end of that. So it happens. Yeah. So what can you do? Hey, we are looking at today's show. We're going to talk about the payroll numbers that just came out this morning. We're going to talk about mortgage rates, what you should be doing as an agent in this marketplace, and also some more background on the whole Department of Justice multiple listing service PIN, MLSPIN court case, and why they might actually be trying to pump the brakes on the whole settlement, which seemed like it was a done deal, but now looks like at the very least it's been delayed until March. All right, so yesterday, just after we finished our show, we had the JOLTS report come out. And the JOLTS report, let's see if we can bring this up here. The JOLTS report came in hot. JOLTS report came in hot with more jobs created or more jobs open than otherwise expected. So in the crazy world of Wall Street, good news is bad news. Bad news is good news. A lot of people on Wall Street said, the economy is still running hot. That means highly likely the Fed is going to be more likely to raise rates. And consequently, rates went up yesterday. Yields on the 10-year bond went for a while above 4.8. And we'll take a look at what they are right now. And mortgage rates closed very high. And we'll talk about that in just a second. But this morning, we had the ADP job number, and there's been a lot of disconnect between the ADP number and the final very important jobs number. The monthly jobs number from the federal government comes out Friday at 8:30. That's the big number this week. Might even be the big number for the entire month. But that comes out Friday at 8:30. So there has been a disconnect between the ADP number, which just came out this morning, and the final jobs number. Now, the ADP number that just came out this morning came in weaker than expected, far below expectations, says ADP. They came in at 89,000 payrolls, rose by 89,000 units. So they were expecting, if my memory serves me right, to be at 150,000. So one jobs report comes in hot. That was yesterday. And then today, another jobs comes in soft. So you would imagine, and we're also going to be looking at some other data that we have today. I think we have ISM out today and some other claims. Factory orders, ISM services. They're out today, but it's good news and bad news on the economy with the jobs report, the all-important jobs report. The more important job report by far is on Friday. We'll see where that goes. You would imagine that given these mixed job reports, there'll probably be a little bit of a give back in the market today. And so mortgage rates might not rise today because of this ADP number wasn't as hot. If the ADP number came in hot like the JOLTS did, we would be off to the races today. But I think there might be a pause. But what does anybody really know? So Mortgage News Daily rate survey, the 30-year fix came in yesterday at 7.72. 7.72. That is your averaged 30-year fixed quote across the country. 7.72. Are we headed to 8% rates? Damn yes, absolutely. I told you that before the mini banking crisis. Before the mini banking crisis, I said we were on the way to 8. And then the banking crisis happened in March, and then there was a big pause on that. But we are absolutely headed to 8. There was some big bond guy the other day that said that the bond for the 10-year Treasury is going to go to 5. And that's quite clear. We're going to 5 on the 10-year bond. I mean, right now, this morning, the 10-year bond is at 4.737. And again, I said yesterday it was at 4.8. So this is definitely going to 5. This is going to go to 5. And there's about a 3-point difference between the 10-year bond and mortgage market. About 3 points. So if that goes to 5, add 3, we're at 8. Okay. So expect to go to 8. That is extremely likely. Some people, depending upon their credit profile and whatnot, are already at 8%. Treasury yields retreat from 16-year highs after weaker than expected ADP's report. Not a surprise, as I just said, that because of this number, bond yields will probably go down a little bit today because of ADP. It rushed up higher yesterday because of JOLTS, and today a little lower because of ADP. Not a huge surprise. I wouldn't be surprised if we close the day with slightly lower mortgage rates. So, if you're thinking about locking in this morning, you might think about locking in tomorrow instead. That sounds like a better strategy if it was me. What does this mean? All of this mean for you as a real estate agent? Well, when you look at applications for purchase mortgages, which is, a key factor for the number of transactions that you and I are doing when we're selling real estate, those fell to levels not seen since 1995, below levels of the great financial crisis. I know this is amazing. Nobody is shopping for a mortgage right now. Nobody is shopping for a mortgage right now. Look at this chart from Lance Lambert, seasonally adjusted. Get that out of there. We go. Seasonally adjusted purchase application index. And we have just broken the level otherwise set from the great financial crisis. That would have been in 2014. And this number is now as low as it has been since 1995, 96. Yeah. Well, remember, there were a lot less people in the United States in 1995, 1996. And now we're back to that number. So if you're not planning for an environment where there's a lot fewer homes sold, then you're not planning. And you've got to start to ask yourself as a real estate agent, because there's still plenty of money to be made out there, but you've got to ask yourself, what market am I going to dominate? And the way to dominate is become crystal clear. The way to dominate in any particular market right now. If you want to advertise, you can do that, but understand that advertising it gets more and more expensive, and it usually does not build a brand that is cumulative. So what are you going to do? If you become the number one source for news in a particular community, and I don't really care what it is, it could be pickleball in the town you live in. It could be new moms in the town you live in. It could be whatever. interest that you have, and there's a number of other people also have it. School sports, fishing, it could be anything. Baking cakes, I don't care what it is, but if you dominate a particular niche as being the news source for that niche, you're going to do very well, even in a market with suppressed total number of transactions. And then when the total number of transactions goes up, which of course markets always change, then you're going to do really well. Ask yourself, why am I doing this live stream today? And why have I, over the last 6 months or so, dramatically upped my YouTube game? Why have I done that? Because obviously I'm trying to build a brand supporting agents as the number one source of information for agents, right? That's my brand. If you want to know what's going on in Massachusetts real estate market and or the national market, what's going on, what form do I need, what's going on with the exam service, what's going on with the board of registration, what's going on with the national market, who do you ask? Well, hopefully that answer will be me. And that will bring me agents. That will bring people to my real estate school. You get the idea. You want to do the exact same thing with your business as a real estate agent. You find that topic, whatever it happens to be, bird watching, I don't care what it is. You find that topic where there's enough people, there's enough critical mass, and they're looking for updates on a regular basis on whatever topic it is. You find that community, you dominate that community, providing value, providing news, providing analysis, you're going to do very well, because eventually you'll be able to ask those folks, hey, would you help me support this blog about pickleball? Who do you know that's buying or selling in the next 30 to 90 days? Once you develop that audience, you can then monetize it. All right, so keep that in mind as a warning to you, and a piece of advice and opportunity. So as we spoke about yesterday, the multiple listing service here in Massachusetts, the largest one, MLSPIN, has had kind of a wrench thrown at it in the settlement that was supposed to go into effect at the end of the year / New Year's, like the first business day of the 2024. And that has now been paused because the feds just in the last couple of days have come along and said, we have some problems with this settlement. Remember, the settlement was basically in two parts. It was a $3 million settlement, which is kind of like chump change, really. And also a change in the rule that says basically it makes buyer commissions optional. The seller does no longer has to pay it if they don't want to. So the feds came in. Remember, the feds have an on-again, off-again antitrust investigation into the National Association. Plus, the feds are involved with the bombshell commission lawsuits from the Midwest. Stitzer Burnett, by the way, goes to trial October 16th. And the fact that the DOJ has had an investigation has been a point of whether or not that will be able to be submitted as evidence. And the way the timing was going with the No-Select case, it was potentially possible that the No-Select case could be decided before the Stitzer Burnett case was decided. And as you heard me say before, the No-Select case here in Massachusetts has always been kind of a sideshow. To the main show is the Stitzer, Burnett, and Morrell cases. And the No-Select case, MLSPIN case, is ancillary to the big show, right? So what's basically happened are two things. Number one is this delay, which delays the settlement at least until March of 2024. Number one, it allows the Stitzer Burnett case to be settled first. That's number one, first thing. And two, it gives us a glimpse at the fact that the Department of Justice does not believe that the rule change that the judge said she loved, Judge Patty Sarris said she loved the rule change. The rule change does not go far enough for the Department of Justice. And I think this is the headline. Basically, if we look at the quote from their statement to the court, basically they're saying just allowing the buyer side fee to be optional does not make this a more competitive market. It's window dressing. They were very critical of what otherwise the judge loved in the case. Let's go to Inman and read the exact quote. Let's see if I can find it here for you. Where is it? Hold on. This is really important. I want you to be able to. Oh, we're glitchy. Hold on a second. Come on, glitchy. Don't be glitchy. That's better. Let me just find this money quote here for you. Give me a quick second. Yes, they agreed to delay. Here it is here. Significant concerns. The Department of Justice has significant concerns with the planned rules changed under the proposed settlement. Maybe that's not that's not. This is the article I wanted. So this is the one that had the money quote. Okay. Here we go here. Here's the money quote. From the Department of Justice, evidence from other multiple listing services suggests that merely tweaking a buyer broker commission rule to allow 0% commissions does little to unfetter a market from anti-competitive conduct. Ooh, that is an interesting statement. Let me read that again. Evidence from other multiple listing services suggests that merely tweaking a buyer broker commission rule to allow 0% commissions does little to unfetter a market from anti-competitive conduct. And to me, what they're talking about is that the Bright MLS adopted this rule voluntarily early August. And has there been a lot of change in the Mid-Atlantic MLS states? I don't think so. I also believe that the Northwest MLS has also adopted a similar rule. And basically what they're saying, the Department of Justice is saying, yeah, you adopted the rule, but not much of anything has changed. So it leads one to believe that not only are they looking for it to be optional, but they're actually looking to ban it. That is kind of the only kind of like, that would be the next step, that not only would buyer side fees be not only optional, no, you're not allowed to pay them at all. If you read between the lines in this statement, let me bring it back up on the screen so you can see it. Evidence from other multiple listing services suggests that merely tweaking a buyer broker commission rule to allow for 0% commissions does little to unfetter a market from anti-competitive conduct. I mean, that's pretty clear to me that the Department of Justice is basically saying that the rule that the judge otherwise loved is not going far enough. And I'm guessing they're looking at what's happening in the Middle Atlantic states at Bright MLS, which again is the second largest MLS in the United States, and also the PAC Northwest MLS. Right. They're saying that the rule change didn't make any difference, so it didn't go far enough. And they're also delaying. They're also looking for a delay because they want the Stitzer-Burnett case decided before they go forward with this one. So this is to me, this is a much more aggressive Department of Justice stance than I had otherwise up until now been aware of. They don't actually come out and say it, but I think they're looking for something that's much stricter with this rule change. So stay tuned for that one. Imagine if we go to a position where buyer side fees are not allowed anymore, because that's what the Department of Justice is hinting at. All right. Hey, it's been great to be with you today. Thank you so much for joining us once again. I'm Jack from Jack Gately Real Estate, the Online Real Estate Academy. Hope you enjoy your tea and coffee this morning. We'll talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.